Iraq's cohesion is that it depends to a great degree on Iraq's own political leadership. No one can force or even much encourage that cohesion from the outside. The United States has tried. It has not been successful as yet. The fact is, you also, in many ways, have seen the situation grow worse. When ISIS invaded Iraq, it created a new type of Sunni bloc, and it has attempted to steadily radicalize elements in the Sunni population in the West. It has met with resistance, but that Sunni resistance is deeply divided and has not shown any unity and very mixed loyalty to the central government that it often feels does not support it and has been using militias that are Shiite and other tools to basically try to control the Sunnis by having a Shiite-dominated state. The Kurds, which already had a Kurdish region, which had many non-Kurds in it, have made major expansion of their territory as ISIS advanced. They've taken control of Kirkuk and the northern oil fields. They greatly expanded their area around Mosul. But these are not Kurdish areas, and that creates even a new potential to make things worse. The Shiite government structure has an effective prime minister in terms of his intentions. The reforms he's called for would make major progress and potentially help heal the country. But the fact is that Shiite politics are so deeply divided that intra-Shiite rivalries make it almost impossible for the government to act effectively. And right now it's uncertain how long the government can even survive with its present leadership. So it's easy to say what Iraq needs is to find some form of federalism, some way of guaranteeing the security of the Kurds and the Sunnis, while reflecting the fact it has a Shiite majority, that it needs a more representative type of government, one where its officials are directly responsible to a legislature which, instead of being elected nationally, represents given areas and given sects and ethnic groups. But in saying all of that, the reality is that there is no force today that is bringing it together. And you have a new and deeply complicating factor, and that is the fact that Iraq's petroleum revenues are down by some 40 to 60%, in spite of increases in Iraqi production. Iraq today is bankrupt. The Kurdish regional government is bankrupt. The ability to use those oil revenues to help unify the country is something where Iraq has far less capability than it did a year ago, and no clear prospects in sight. The other final comment that I think is vital to the many people who look at maps of ethnic distribution and somehow feel you can easily divide up the country. The fact is that doesn't reflect population density in a country which is largely desert and where agriculture is only a small part of the economy. The fact is Iraq is heavily urbanized. Shiites and Sunnis are mixed in urban centers, which can't be easily divided. The road system, the water, the utilities are tied to those urban areas and don't split out by sect or ethnic group. So you have to talk about sharing power in terms of real-world population densities, not simply draw lines on the map.